They are still busy looking at the suit and the ties of the pastors. And they are bombarding and they are hitting at them from every angle. I don't think any group of people have been lambasted like pastors before. Sometimes even a pastor can squeeze the little he has and give food to the community. And the same people he's giving the food to will turn around and insult him. And we are sitting in a church. You know what, people? If we are not careful, this crisis will end. Businesses will go back to business and revive quickly. Politicians will go back to politics and revive quickly. Schools will go back to school and revive quickly. Footballers will go back to football and revive quickly. As I speak to you now, Manchester United are already thinking about the footballers they want to buy when the football resumes. But I tell you, I'm afraid that the people who will go back to work, and it may take them time to get up from where they are, may be the church. And that's because people, whenever it comes to some things, the children of this world are in their own world wiser than the children of light. I pray that whilst we are in this state, may you think about your church, may you think about your ministry, may you think about a church somewhere. May you be a son of consolation and not a son of pain. May you not give your pastor pain at this time. May a pastor never cry because of you. May you not know. Some people, they criticize so much. When they are in the church, they criticize. And right now, they are still sitting in their homes and criticizing. I'm yet to see Muslims criticize like that. As for pagans who worship in a shrine with fetish priests, in fact, I've never even heard their voice anywhere. The ones who are every day, article after article, insult after insult, abuse after abuse, are children of God. Who are supposed to be children of consolation, but they have become kingdom antagonists. I'm talking about kingdom antagonists. When I studied pharmacy and I did a field of pharmacy called pharmacology, when I did pharmacology, there were a group of things we used to call them the antagonists. Some people in the kingdom are kingdom antagonists. They fight everything, they resist everything. They sit in the church, they don't agree with everything. You talk about the omnipotence of God, they have a problem with it. Omniscience of God, they have a problem with it. Omnipresence, they have a problem with it. God is not omnipresent. If he's omnipresent, I would have seen him by now. But Barnabas was a son of consolation. He had a land, he sold the land and laid the money at the apostles' feet. This is the time for you to do something. This is the time for somebody to just say, you know what, I want to be a blessing. I want to bless a certain church member. I want to bless an old lady somewhere. I want to bless a widow. I want to bless a church. I want to bless a pastor. I want to do something extraordinary. Ladies and gentlemen, may you be a son of consolation in this time and not a son of pain, not a daughter of consolation and not a daughter of pain and harassment. We must mature. We must grow. He said, and Barnabas, who is called the son of consolation. And that word son over there is the word huios. I told you the teknon cannot take hold of responsibility. But Barnabas was not a teknon. Barnabas was a huios. He took hold of responsibility. He said, Lord, if you give me land, I'll be responsible. If you give me food, I'll be responsible. If you give me money, I will be responsible. God gave him the land. God gave him the money. He converted the money into food and clothing and took care of the needy. God said, this indeed is a son of consolation. Separate unto me Barnabas and Paul for the work whereunto I have called them. And he began to minister like a prophet and a teacher. God now called him and said, separate me Barnabas and Paul for the work whereunto I have separated them or called them. Later on in the book of Acts, that was Acts chapter 13, I beg your pardon. Acts chapter 13, while they were worshiping and praying and fasting, the Holy Ghost said, separate me now, Barnabas and Saul, for the work whereunto I have called him. So the man was now faithful. The man was now faithful. And because he was faithful with land and he was faithful with money, the Bible said, if you are not faithful with the unrighteous mammon, nobody will commit into your hands the true riches. Until normally, the Christians who think money is nothing, they are deceiving themselves, because you know what? If money is nothing and you cannot give money, who will give you the true riches or spiritual things? So now God says, separate me, Barnabas and Paul, for the work whereunto I have called them. But by Acts chapter 14, the Bible talks about the apostles, Barnabas and Paul. When they heard it, they now went to a place, and the Bible said when they went to the place, there was a healing that took place, and the people got confused. Champion the miracle, but they looked at him and they said, this man is Jupiter, and the minister for information, Mercurius, is Paul, because he's the chief speaker. Oh Jesus, oh Jesus. Onyame Oma Onya, son of consolation. And when the churches were struggling, even Paul himself, when Paul wanted to join the apostles and they were not accepting him, it was Barnabas who took hold of the hand of Paul and said, receive him. Receive him, because this man is a good man. Receive him. And when the churches around Asia were struggling, the churches around Europe were struggling. I beg your pardon, churches around Europe were struggling. It was Barnabas they sent to go and strengthen these churches. They said, oh, Barnabas, nenumwa sem ehiam. Yan sumano. Sons of consolation, son of consolation. I want to look at people who are called the sons of God. Matthew chapter 5 verse 9. Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.